So the hand washing presentation and the diapering will be done in June, and that information will be coming shortly as soon as we set the date.
All right, so we're still waiting for people to sign on. And as we normally do, we're going to make sure that these are available to you. It may take a little time, but we will get them up so that they're available. Jennifer, do you know which website they'll go to for the webinars? Is it YouTube?
It would be YouTube, yeah. Victor would actually set up a YouTube and link it to everybody, so he'll probably send the link out.
All right, great. Frank, I know that you can hear us. Are you on the line? Frank?
Yes, yes.
All right, great. So what we're going to do is we're going to move right into a video. And I think this video is going to be very enlightening for a lot of us. It's about 6 minutes, so bear with us. And then when we get done with the video, Frank is going to add a few words about this. All right? So we're going to go ahead and start the video.
Tonight we've uncovered hidden dangers in playground equipment, unsafe, outdated playgrounds. They're violating state law, and they're all over town. They slide down poles, zoom down slides, and swing on swings. These are the faces of children having fun on the playground. But these are the faces of children after suffering serious playground accidents. Black eyes, bloody nose, brain damage. They fell on unsafe, outdated equipment that didn't meet safety standards. The same type of equipment that our investigation found right here at some LA County parks. In fact, we've uncovered evidence that the LA County Parks Department has violated a 3-year-old state law because some of the playgrounds have never been inspected for safety, and parents have never been informed.
Nobody's denying that. We have problems in our playground.
But do you think parents should know that this playground equipment could cause serious injury or death?
Well, I'm sure that's what your purpose is.
And that's just what we set out to do.
I'm a CPSI, which is a Certified Playground Safety Inspector.
We went to the parks with our own safety inspector, J.C. Bush, and exposed dozens of safety hazards. Can someone die on this structure?
Yeah, there's a number of areas here where a child could potentially die.
From Altadena's Charles Farnsworth Park to the decades-old rusting rocket at Whittier Narrows Recreation Area.
You can see how unsteady this is.
To the cement castle at Dalton Park in Azusa.
I wouldn't let my kids play on it.
And the metal slide exposed to the burning hot sun at Del Valle Park in Castaic.
I can't even put my hand in here for a second without getting burned.
They're all classified as level 1 hazards that can cause serious injury or even death. It happens to the youngest and most innocent victims. 7-year-old Gary Staples Jr. was one of them.
That was one of the darkest days of my life, to see my son pass away right in front of my eyes.
Staples was a normal second-grade boy who, like most kids, loved to climb on the monkey bars.
I knew he was going to be one of the top athletes in here in Oakland, California.
But the bars at Gary's playground were 9 feet tall, 3 feet higher than current standards. When he fell, Gary ended up with a concussion and died.
That pain is so deep, it's so real.
Because of tragic stories like Gary's and many others, more than 3 years ago, the California legislature enacted the toughest playground regulations in the nation, mandating that all playgrounds be inspected for safety. But we've uncovered that here at LA County Parks, many playgrounds have never been inspected. Some of the structures are much higher than the height recommendations. Others pose hidden dangers for children. They're called head entrapments. That's where a child's body can slide through the iron bars and their head can't. And that leads to strangulation.
Head entrapment. Head entrapment.
Get entrapment.
We discovered dozens of head entrapments. other potentially deadly conditions.
Pretty hard.
Hard-packed sand that's supposed to be at least 9 inches deep to cushion a fall.
Within a matter of minutes to an hour, a child could die from a brain hemorrhage.
Rusting bolts that hide hidden dangers.
A child walking through here and then lifting up their head would easily be able to pierce their skull.
And aging structures that just should be shut down.
There are parts and playground equipment that totally need to be removed. There are serious injuries or deaths waiting to happen.
County Parks Chief Tim Gallagher admits the playgrounds don't comply with standards, but claims they are safe. However, the department's own documents obtained by CBS 2 Special Assignment show 185 level 1 hazards, which could cause death or serious injury. Many have not been corrected. The playground safety law mandates that corrections be made only if state money is available, and it's not. Gallagher says he doesn't have the money, even though his budget is $100 million a year.
We have tremendous problems. There's no doubt about it. I'd love to wave a magic wand and correct it all, but we can only do what we can as quickly as possible.
But the city of LA found money to replace all their playgrounds and spends $1 million a year to keep them up to code.
Children's safety. The department's view is that the child comes first to keep them safe.
His lifespan here on Earth was short.
The Staples family have now become advocates for playground safety, reading from a plaque immortalizing their son as someone whose life and death was meant to help others.
God chose that angel so that other children will be able to play on safer playground equipment.
But not in LA County, where many of the playgrounds do not comply with current standards, perhaps playing Russian roulette with your child's safety. Well, just 3 weeks ago, the LA County Board of Supervisors approved the hiring of a playground inspection team, but their job will take 3 months before the inspections are complete, much more time before any repairs or renovations are made. In the meantime, the unsafe playgrounds remain open for your child. David Goldstein, CBS 2 Special Assignment. Laura?
David, thank you for the final report.
All right, very enlightening video. Frank, I know you're with us. Can you hear us?
I am.
All right.
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes. As rough as it was to look at the video and know what we're dealing with in Chicago, because I know this was back in 2009, have we come any further?
I don't think that we have in Chicago itself, I don't think we have the certified playground inspectors on a regular basis. We do have some tips from the United States Consumer Product Safety Commission that we should all be adhering to, and I can review those a little bit.
Okay. Go ahead.
The first one, and I know you're all very concerned about your surfacing in your playgrounds, and I think it referenced it in the video that if you have 6 feet or under, you need 6 inches of depth with the mulch or wood chips. If it's over 6 feet, you need 9 inches of depth. So that's something to keep in mind. Asphalt and concrete are not acceptable surfacing for playgrounds with elevated material, with elevated play structures on them. The second thing, the synthetic surfaces that I know many of the sites have are acceptable. However, when you put that surface in, you should request their shock-absorbing performance test data from the manufacturer, just so you've got that on hand. The second area to be concerned with is called fall zones. And a fall zone is if you're on a stationary climbing equipment or a slide, how far from the end of that slide or fall zone should you have? You should have 6 feet where there's nothing in the way that they can fall into or any equipment where they could get hurt. So swings, it's the same thing. There should be 6 foot minimum from the outer edge of the support structure. where the children can land safely without running into something. Swing spacing. The horizontal distance between swings should be at least 2 feet, and the distance between the swing and the closest structural component should be 30 inches. They say that no more than 1 tire swing should be suspended in the same section of a support structure, and the 30 inches applies to the tire swings, as far as that's the distance between the closest support structure. The elevated surfaces, so those are the platforms that the children climb on. If they're more than 30 inches above the ground, they have to have guardrails to prevent falls. The one that I think you saw in the video that is probably of most concern is the head entrapment. And generally, openings should be less than 3.5 inches or greater than 9 inches. Anything between 3.5 or 9 is considered a head entrapment potential hazard. There's another hazard called potential entanglement, and this involves open S-hooks or anything that can be a catch point. There may be a piece of steel from the support that's hanging out where the children can get caught. I saw one at one of the CPS schools that was incredible. It was one of those spring-like looking things that the children can climb on to get to the top of a platform, and it was completely severed at one point, and this jagged piece of steel was just coming off the side. That should be a real, that was a real hazard and a real safety violation waiting to happen. The other one to be,
Frank?
yeah, yes.
Someone is requesting that if you could please repeat the swing safety rules.
Sure. Swing safety, as far as fall zones, you have to have 6 feet in front of the swing, behind the swing, free for the children to land without running into a wall or another piece of the equipment on the playground. The other spacing, there should be 24 inches, 2 feet between the swings, and there should be 30 inches between any of the swings and the support structure. Similarly, only 1 tire swing per bay, and that should be 30 inches away from the support structure too. It says here, when it's swung to a position closest to the support structure, there still should be 30 inches, if that makes sense. So that's what I have on the swings. Should I keep going?
Yes, thank you, Frank.
Okay. It's just a couple more areas. Pinch or crush points. Obviously, there should be no exposed moving parts which a child could get his hand or any part of his body or clothes or anything into where it could pinch or crush him. The ones I worry about are those spring-loaded animal. Sometimes those things get out of maintenance and there's just a little bit too much movement on those where they could pinch somebody. And then the last one is playground maintenance. The things that you should be concerned with are hardware that is loose or protruding. We see a lot of bolts. We don't see a lot, but we see some bolts that are protruding out in areas where children could get injured. Exposed equipment footings. We've seen a little bit of that where you need to pile some more mulch in an area where they can't get hurt on the concrete footing or something like that. Scattered debris, litter, rocks, or tree roots. We see a lot of tree roots lately where, sometimes if that tree root is in the way and you can somehow cut it out, that would be ideal. but I know a lot of times you can't. If you can soften the blow somehow by piling up more mulch, do what you can on those tree roots. Rusted chipping paint on metal components. Not only is that a hazard for scraping, but if the children should ingest that somehow, that's obviously a safety hazard. Splinters, large cracks, and decayed wood on your playground equipment are concerns. And then deterioration on structural components which connect to the ground. So those are the main things to look at in your playgrounds. Like you saw in the city of Los Angeles, they have somebody called a certified playground inspector. There are some in the Chicagoland area. And to B's question, I'm not sure if the city of Chicago uses them or not on their playgrounds, but
not yet, but we're looking into it.
Okay, so they do exist. So that's my fact for playgrounds.
That's great. It's a little scary, but it's real. What we're going to do now is we're going to move into some of the pictures that you shared with us, Frank,
Okay.
so that we can just run through for agencies, and these are real time. So this is stuff that the inspectors have been out there and have actually seen. So we just want to bring your attention to some things that we need to take care of. So the first one, yes, Frank, this was obviously a cluttered yard, and it looks like the fence is about to go down.
Yeah, it looks like the fence is leaning. Obviously, I think this is just storing playground equipment or something in the, it doesn't even look like playground equipment. It looks like exercise equipment in the side, but it's in an area where the children can access.
Right.
So it should be either isolated or cleaned up because I think it would definitely be to the attention of the inspector.
And so this next one, is this where, was this the attempt to straighten it up?
No, can you see where it's deteriorated to where there's a lot of wood splinters?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a great idea as far as creativity and having the children, be involved with their environment. But that one is deteriorated to the point where they should probably remove and resurface it.
Mm-hmm. All right, and now we're going to go to some indoor pictures. Let's take a look at the one in the classroom. Obviously.
Okay, now, do you have any idea why we put this one up?
Yes, we think we do. We see this every day, but this is a potential hazard.
Okay.
With the hanging cord.
Not only that, but you see that plastic box?
Yes.
That's their lock box.
Oh, wow.
So obviously that doesn't qualify, and there's medicine in there.
Right.
That the children are actually exposed to.
Right.
So that's just an example of what we see out there.
And it's a high traffic area. These are the cubbies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, let's do another one. All right, we're going to go to the bathroom now. Let's go all the way over, Jennifer. All the way over to the first one. All right, so Frank, what's happening here?
Okay, there you can see kind of a dirty residue along the base of the wall, and that needs to be cleaned up because there's always a potential for mold in a bathroom area that gets dirty and is exposed to water. If they mop the floor or something like that, there's a potential for mold. So that's definitely an area that hasn't been cleaned in a while and needs some attention.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then this one. Sorry about the angle.
Okay, that one, if you can see to the left of the toilet, the wall surface has paint removed on it so that it needs some attention. It needs to be.
the caps. I don't know if that's any big deal, but the bolts. The bolts
Yeah.
and the caps.
Good catch, yeah, good catch.
Yeah. And this is just overall, I mean, we need to clean up a little better.
Yeah, in the bathrooms especially.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a question.
Noelia has her hand raised. Noelia, I unmuted you. If you wanted to say something, go ahead.
Okay. All right, if you all have questions, feel free to raise your hand or type it in. We're going to move to the next one. All right, and the next picture, where it's labeled, what's going on here?
Okay, I think you can see the floor, the tile
Yes.
floor. Okay, that's where, you know, where it's open like that, a lot of dirt can accumulate, germs, whatever, so that's really a bad sanitary condition. You can also...
What about the rust around?
Right. You can also see the partition is rusting, and children are exposed to scraping their hands along there and potentially getting exposed to, you know, some germs or cuts that way. So there's a couple of issues there.
And then I think we have one or two more. The door, obviously.
Okay, now this is the main entrance to one of the sites, and when you can just walk in. The door does not close without being pulled from the inside. And this is an issue we've seen at a number of the sites. It's not an isolated issue. But,
And you know, we've been receiving supplemental requests, agencies, to get these doors fixed, to get intercom systems, to get cameras.